Hello aviators, I welcome you on board flight of Captain Vijay in the series of flights to study radio aids for Dgca Cpl and Atpl examination. Today we will fly through the first topic in this series, which is Introduction to Radio Aids. In this video lesson, we'll discuss what is radio aids and the topics which you need to study for the exam. So fasten your seatbelts as we are ready for takeoff. Radio aids is application of radio waves in aviation. Understanding the characteristics, nature, properties and application of radio waves in aviation is essential for all pilots, since practically all avionics equipment on board an aeroplane make use of radio waves in all phases of flight for communication, navigation, separation, terrain clearance, weather avoidance, landing, and the list goes on. As far as CPL exam is concerned, radio aids is part of navigation exam, but for ATPL, instrument and radio aids is altogether a different subject paper, and additionally there is Viva for instrument and radio aids. Radio aids, as the name suggests, are the equipments which are making use of radio waves, or you can say electromagnetic waves, to aid in flying operations. A modern aeroplane is equipped with plethora of communication and navigation equipment making use of a wide range of electromagnetic spectrum to provide necessary information to pilots and controllers. Let's take a short look at history of aviation and radios. Wright brothers made the first flight in human history in 1903 when their aeroplane flew under its own power for 12 seconds above the sand dunes of North Carolina. Human race embarked on a never-ending journey of civil and military aviation. Air travel became a safe means of transportation of men and material. But it took some time for pilots and air traffic controllers to talk to each other. Before radios came in to aviation, pilots and controllers used to communicate with flags, hand signals, visual signals, lights, and pyrotechnics to communicate with each other. Even now, if radio communication fails between pilot and controllers, these signaling devices are used as secondary means or backup. Heinrich Hertz had proved the existence of radio waves in late 1880s, so it was just a matter of time for radio communication to get place in the cockpit. As the technology developed, planes were able to use telegraph systems to send messages in Morse code. They could transmit dots and dashes from radio set, which was converted to an alphabet based on predefined coding protocol. In April 1915, Captain J.M. Furnival was the first person to hear a voice from ground. If you can hear me now, it will be the first time speech has ever been communicated to an aeroplane in flight. So that was the history of inception of radio aids in aviation, and since then there has been no turning back. Every sphere of aviation uses electromagnetic waves which travel with speed of light for communication and navigation. Broadly, we can classify radio aided equipment in two categories: radio communication and radio navigation. When radio is used for communication, verbal or data, it is called radio communication, and when it is used for navigation, it is called radio navigation. Radio waves are electromagnetic waves, and electromagnetic waves are a means of energy transportation with speed of light. It carries energy through any medium, including vacuum and through space. Information can be imprinted on radio waves through a technique called modulation. You must have heard about the term AM and FM while tuning radio channels, which stands for amplitude modulation and frequency modulation respectively. Even light is an electromagnetic wave. And other examples of electromagnetic waves are X-ray, gamma ray, microwave, UV rays, infrared. And radio waves are electromagnetic waves falling in the frequency bracket of 3 kHz to 300 GHz used in various applications in aviation. Syllabus. Now let us discuss the syllabus for Dgca Cpl and Atpl exam for radio aids. Topics which you need to study for the exam as well as self-learning objective as a pilot would be as follows. What is electromagnetic waves and its fundamental properties? Propagation of electromagnetic waves, how does it travel across vast distances in space? Ionosphere and sky waves. Modulation. Modulation is a process of imprinting information on carrier wave. Different bands of electromagnetic waves and their application in aviation. VHF direction finding. Automatic direction finder or non-directional beacon, also called ADF and NDB. VOR, which stands for VHF omnidirectional ranging. ILS stands for instrument landing system. DME, which stands for distance measuring equipment. Radar, which stands for radio detection and ranging. SSR, secondary surveillance radar. Working principle of transponder and transponder codes. Doppler radar. Weather radar, working of a weather radar on board a commercial aeroplane. GPWS, that is ground proximity warning system. TCAS, which is traffic collision avoidance system. GPS, global positioning system. So these were the topics which you need to study, and while understanding the theory and principle of working of various systems, you must be capable of answering numerical questions which require you to pay attention to the formula and equations in different chapters. Now let's discuss what books to study. The recommended books to study for radio aids has been published by Dgca on its website. I would personally recommend you to refer to two books. First is Oxford Navigation 2, which is for radio navigation, and Radio Aids written by R.B. Underdown and David Cockburn in the series of Ground Studies for Pilots. These two books will suffice for understanding as well as practicing question and answer. Subsequent videos in the series would cover each topic one by one in detail. So hope this video has made you understand what is radio aids, its application in aviation, as well as introduction to topics which you have to study for exam. With this, we have arrived at our destination. Subscribe the channel for more such informative videos on aviation. Like, share, subscribe and comment if you wish. Write in the comment section below if you have any query, and hope to see you on board again for the next flight. Until then, happy landings.